We gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Antonio, there's obviously speculation talk out there. Do you have any clarity on where this might go in terms of you coming back next year?
No comment.
Coach, Vinny kind of just talked about it right now, but rumors, trades, injuries. At any point during your tenure, did you feel like you were working with a full deck?
I was working with 53 guys. That's all I can say. Whatever 53 guys I get, I work with them. It is what it is. Nobody feels sorry for the hand you dealt.
Antonio, you faced a lot of injuries and adversity this season. Obviously, didn't finish at the results you probably wanted, but do you feel like you deserve another opportunity to be the head coach of the Raiders?
No comment. So you guys have happened.
Do you have any clarity on what's happening next year about your job status?
I haven't been told anything different.
Do you want to get that cleared up ASAP, or
It's only coming from the outside. It's not inside the building, so to me, there's nothing to clean up until I hear it from inside the building.
Individually, I know you obviously focus on the entire team, but for yourself personally as a head coach, where do you think you need to improve moving forward?
Everything that the head coach needs improving.
To that point, whether personally or professionally, where do you feel like you have grown the most over the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to it. Just patience, What I need to do a better job of, and as I said question earlier, I need to go with my gut. I did that a lot. I was better at that last year. This year, I didn't do what I wanted to do as much as I wanted to do it.
There was a reason behind that?
No, just lessons learned.
Going with your gut. Don't want to put any words in your mouth, but is there things that you would have done differently with the quarterback situation coming out of training camp?
Yep. Yes.
And I guess, why did you go with Gardner? And it sounds like you probably would have rather gone with him.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. It's just I made that decision, and obviously, we made the decision to move on from Gardner after week 5, I believe, and then things just kind of went left and right after that. I appreciate the support, win, lose, or draw. When you take this job and when you're in front of this room, in front of the building, in front of the organization, the face of the organization, you take the good with the bad, right? And when we win, everybody's AP. When you lose, get rid of his ass. I get it. That's the nature of the beast. It was no different when I played, right? When you play well, they keep you and they give you more money. When you don't, you go to another team. So that's a good part about being a former player. You get the nature of the business. So Raider Nation's been great. It's been great to me. I appreciate the support. Good, bad, and ugly. I get it. I take it, and I don't blink or flinch. It is what it is. We got to win more games, and that's what everybody expects, myself included.
All right, and you saw, we talked about it last night. The Raiders put up this statement. They had relieved AP of his head coaching duties yesterday afternoon. So we talked about it last night, but, of course, Miss Peggy always falls on the important Wednesdays, and we had to bring her in on this Wednesday to talk about what just happened yesterday and what's going to happen going forward. But before we get into that, Asylum, how are you doing? I know it's been a long time since the show we had yesterday, but
it's been too long. We gotta start doing more of these.
I know, with you being incarcerated and my dumbass glasses, but we still do a show, right? Cheers. Just know that.
We find
just know that we will throw flags now. So, anyways, Asylum. I can't wait for a Peggy Wednesday, but before we get into that, let's do it real quick. Let's do our favorite segment, the shameless plug. And here we go. Here we go. Shameless plug. Here we go.
All right, everybody, go to the Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, give a thumbs up, hit that bell. That way, anytime a video, show, meme, whatever we put out there drops, you can watch it right away. If Roger Goodell wants to be the dickhead at the end of the season, that's right, because you can always catch us on Facebook, first at the Oakland Raiders Savage page or my page, Asylum. When you're all done with our shows, why don't you go visit WGG, browse their variety of energy drinks, and when you're ready to check out, put Cage Match, one word, in the discount code to get 10% off your entire order.
And like we always say, when you think of wins, think of dubs. Think of dubs. Think of Dubby. Cage Match, one word, CAGEMATCH into the discount code, 10% off your whole order. And it's going to be a long while till we see another Raider game. So remember the old times in the 70s and the 80s of those wins. And then when you do, think of Dubby. Go WGG and help us out. That's our sponsor. And also, shouts out to the Compa Fabian. Go to www.rn4lafer.com. That's my homie. Go there, check out his merch. He has great merch. Usually I have hats. I wear hats by the man himself, but I don't know why this gray hat. I just love this gray hat, and I've had it for a long time. And like I said, it's fitting well and everything. So anyways, go there, check out his merch, and also shouts out to RaiderMan19, RaiderMan19.com. He also has the Oath merch. The Oath, which you hear at the end of our main intro. So go check that out, the Red Man from Richmond podcast. And speaking of that intro, we want to try to get him to the torch starting next season. So now we have a couple months to try to get that going. Because but we all feel that Raider Man 19, coming from the old Raider mystique, bring that to Las Vegas, and maybe that's just a missing element to get this team fired up, whoever the coach is going to be. You need Raider Man to start off that season, lighting up that torch. I am a Raider fan. A Raiders fan. All right, Asylum. Enough of us, because nobody came to see us. They came to see one person, and one person only, and that is Miss Peggy. You have that intro ready?
I'm ready.
Let's give you what everybody's waiting for. Miss Peggy and Miss Peggy's perspective. Here we go.
Hello, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Everybody. I've been sitting up here sick as a dog, but I had to come on because, of course, with the news yesterday about AP. Now, y'all know I was never part of the hire AP crowd. I mean, I'm one of those people that believe experience and depth. But seeing all the people a year ago and then to see them turn on AP, it just honor, integrity. I'm worried about that for this franchise. Slowly but surely, we're losing our integrity, our Raider integrity. I don't know whether AP was, guys chip in, I don't know whether AP was fooled into believing that he was going to stay, but we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw Gerard Mayo get fired an hour after the game, that's when I knew people Pierce was gone. Right then and there.
Yeah, we thought that once Gerard Mayer was let go, that Vrabel, the only other candidate that it seemed like the Raiders were going to look at if they was to move on from AP, that he was going to go to the Patriots, so the Patriots would have saved AP's job. But because we heard nothing on that Monday, it happened yesterday, Tuesday, when they decided after Antonio Pierce, and you saw it in the intro where he was able to do his Monday press conference after the game, they decided to let him go. And as you see here in the Black Monday coaching casualties, Gerard Mayo, Doug Peterson, that those are two on Monday, and then Antonio Pierce yesterday. Brian Daboll and Shane Steichen, they were both got a vote of confidence from their ownership on that Monday. So the only one is Mike McCarthy, who is still on the pending. So
I mean, that might be waiting on what Deion Sanders wants to do.
I mean, come on now. I mean, I can't even listen. Let me say something about the clickbait social influencers that are making 3 to 5 cents every time you click on a story that might be true. Those stories are not true. I was on the inside. All they want you to do is click on it, and they make their money. If it could be true, but these guys are out here repeating it like it is true. I'm like, where are your sources? What's the source?
They always say, my source is inside. I can't give them away because if I do, they won't be my sources. Yeah, well, my source is the goldfish that sits in the tank you guys are trying to ask for, okay? So
exactly. The goldfish talks to me in my dreams, you know?
Yes.
I mean, you can make up any story you want, and if it sounds like it could be true, then people will believe it. Okay?
I mean, you could even say, I have a source. We say I have a source. It's a source. It's an insider inside my head. But, anybody can say I got an insider. I got a source. But like you said, we can say everything we want to say on the show and make it true, quote unquote, just because I said I had a source. But, I mean, there's got to be more to it because, I agree. It's a lot of clickbait. Everyone's just trying to put out, they're trying to be the first ones, hope it sticks. And if they're right, they want to be the first person to say, I said it first.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that they should just leave Pierce alone. He's gone. Okay? Leave him alone. He was faced with an impossible job. Look at that. The timeline is just unbelievable. For one, I don't believe February 1 Raiders attempt to hire Cliff Kingsbury. Okay? Because then they jumped right to the bottom of the barrel 5 days later. And there was nobody in between. I just don't believe that. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury was ever coming here, just like Harbaugh was never coming here. Nobody that's good wants to come to this shit show. Okay? And that's just face it. Now that AP is fired, that even makes us less appealing, right?
Yeah.
Look at Pierce. I mean, he was not given the tools to win. He was expected to do the 1-year turnaround like Ryans down in Houston, right? And Harbaugh with the LA Chargers. That's what they expected him to do. And when it didn't happen, somebody got mad.
Yeah, and then you see right here, 31.8% of Week 1 starters placed on IR, tied most in the NFL, and then 37.6% of snaps played by first and second year players, third highest in the NFL. They had the second youngest team age average in the NFL. So, I mean, you got an inexperienced NFL coach trying to coach a team of inexperienced NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw like the penalties, they started piling up more because all his veterans, a lot of his starting veterans, ended up on the IR. So,
I mean, I couldn't believe the list when I really saw it. What happened, what happened that last game? Basically, I wrote that the Raiders finished the season the way they started. Okay? Let's just do that. And now I want to go into the philosophy behind where Antonio Pierce made his mistake. It's just speculation. But letting somebody else choose his OC for him was the first and most egregious mistake. And I have talked about this. I keep telling people, a new head coach, a brand new head coach, and there are people inside and outside the organization that are trying to take you down.
Yeah.
Let's just face it. They're trying to take you down. And unfortunately, AP didn't recognize that they were saddling him with a guy. I can't believe you didn't see that. This guy had zero success in the 2 years that he was an OC in Chicago. I don't understand. He turned, what's his name, Fields, into a bum. How can you?
And there is proof to that, because you look at how Fields played after going to Pittsburgh. He played a lot better in Pittsburgh than he did in Chicago. I mean, you have tape on it now going and being able to clearly say it was Getsy probably in Chicago that was the problem, not necessarily Fields.
Right.
But they got Caleb Williams now, so they're okay.
So how could Antonio Pierce think that this guy was going to help him? I don't believe it.
They based it on one game that they played against the Bears and how Badgett was able to run all over them, the quarterback, and then the running game was able to run all over them. It also didn't help that we had Brian Hoyer starting that game and throwing interceptions, so we kind of helped the Bears in, with their offense by giving them more possessions. But that was how it was sold, was, hey, he did it against us and we had a great defense, so hey, maybe we can get him in and he'll do the same for us. And
I mean, that makes no sense. That the guy, just because he had a good game against me, he must be a good OC. I mean,
yeah.
Think about the logic of that. That's more of that clickbait, almost the truth stuff that people want to put out there. Why was Getsy even on the list? And that's where Pierce, they sabotaged him.
Yeah.
Gave him an OC that was never going to be successful. And then all the nonsense about, yes, Devontae said he was an okay guy.
Devontae didn't want to be here.
Any team that would listen to a player about their OC selection deserves what they get. I mean, really.
Yeah.
They deserve what they get. So look at the list of play callers. I mean, well, what do you think about now? I want to ask her, pivot. What do you think about the rumor that Gruden's coming back?
Depends. How was Chucky 3, the movie?
I don't know. Some people liked it. They went and saw it 2-3 times.
I mean,
Ride of Chucky.
I honestly want to feel that's clickbait kind of thing. I know Jeff is going a completely different way with it. I do agree they might have somebody, in mind going, and I'm not ruling out Gruden as a chance. Just like, they're saying with the whole Belichick, Brady reached out to Belichick going, the chance of Gruden being there is always going to be there. Gruden's always tied to the Raiders when he's not coaching the Raiders. So
right.
It's always going to be there. Every time we have a coaching opening, it's always going to be Gruden if he's not coaching for somebody else at the time. But I just think that's, as Savage likes to say, hanging fruit. It's just an easy one to reach for and go. I'm hoping that, they're doing their due diligence in this and, going. Like, we just had the list out. Was that the list of who
this was the list of this is the list of coaches they have requested. Are you telling me, Asylum, that you don't believe in nightmares? Knock on wood if you're with me.
Nightmares, and I'm knocking on wood with them.
Oh no, he believes in nightmares. I do too. And I'm looking at this list and looking at how many people wouldn't touch this job with a 10-foot pole. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm not trying to say that they won't be interviewed, but I just like with the clickbait rumors about us getting Harbaugh, That was never going to happen. Kingsbury was never going to happen either. We're not getting guys of that caliber to come here because of the way in which we treat coaches, right?
Yeah.
We're getting ready to hire our third coach in 3 years. The Raiders are career killers.
It's going to be Mark Davis's 9th head coach since he took over. Well, actually, I mean, he didn't hire Hugh Jackson, but as he took over, it'll be his 10th coach if you do count Hugh Jackson in 2011, Al Davis's last hire.
Right.
And you look here, like no coach has lasted outside of Gruden and Jack Del Rio. No coach has lasted over 3 years, and Gruden was let go. Well, Gruden wasn't let go. Gruden had to resign because of those email allegations and everything of that in 2021. But you have Bisaccia who carried it along and got the team to the playoffs, and then you bring somebody in who destroys that team and started from ground zero again.
Right. And I'm hearing all these people talking about Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is not coming to this shit show. No one with any brains is coming here. We're going to have to overpay for a member of the good old boy coaching network again. Okay? A Jack Del Rio type. There's no way we can get anybody to soundly take this job. I mean, think about it. I mean, does it make any sense that any name guys are going to come here knowing the way Mark Davis turns on coaches?
Yeah.
Okay?
And it's also another thing. It's also another thing. The head coach here comes in. It's like, okay, well, who's in charge? Is it Mark Davis? Is it Tom Telesco? Is it the guy who's calling the games, Tom Brady, for Fox? But he's not really here. But because he's Tom Brady, he's making the calls now. And that's why I said, then just make Tom Brady the football operations. Just make him that guy. If everyone's pointing to Tom Brady, well, he knows a winner. He got 7 rings, took 2 teams to the Super Bowl. Then just have him be the guy then.
Here's an example of the clickbait influencers having their way with the narrative, taking over the narrative. Number one, what experience does Brady have in front office, coaching, drafting, or scouting? I'll wait. What experience? It's another Dr. Frankenstein experiment. Okay, I'm going to give you this clipboard and go ahead and do what you want to do. I mean,
it's funny because it's like how they try to sell McDaniels, and McDaniels came in, they're like, well, look what he did. He got 6 rings or 5 rings because he wasn't the offensive coordinator when they won the 2 Super Bowls. That was Charlie Weiss. At least the first one, that was Charlie Weiss. But look what he did. He got all these rings as offensive coordinator, and he's done this and that. So when it comes to the Raiders, he's going to be miles ahead of when he's calling plays. And we didn't see that happening. We saw what he did in Denver. It doesn't matter if it was 10 years after he matured or whatever, but, that wasn't, McDaniels, that wasn't McDaniels' offense. That was Tom Brady's offense that McDaniels just happened to be the title holder of offensive coordinator. Now, Tom Brady coming in, Tom Brady was the quarterback. He wasn't the coach calling the plays. He wasn't the coach setting up the defense that the Patriots had. That the Patriots had during their run, their 20+ year run.
He was always on the field. He was never ever on the sideline. He may have called his own plays, but he didn't game plan and he didn't play call.
Yeah.
Okay. He may have done some things. He certainly doesn't know anything about scouting or drafting. Zero. Yeah. But this is where the bait click influencers have taken over the narrative. Tom Brady is on the side. Yes. And Brady's going to, resurrect the Raiders. Have y'all any idea what you're saying? What happened the last time you went down to the railroad depot and fucked with those New England Patriots? What happened the last time?
He got fired a year and a half in.
Have you learned nothing? I mean, every time you mess with them New England boys, something bad happens. But yet, everybody wants to embrace Tom Brady. See, this logic makes no sense whatsoever. And I'm really I'm really, wondering when are we going to take back over the narrative with common sense. Now, I wanted to talk just briefly about our roster next year, free agents. I think you have a graphic on free
I do
agents.
have that. I do have that.
All right, I want to go one at a time, and I want Asylum and Savage. I want you all to tell me keep, trade, or cut. Starting with Madison.
I I wouldn't really miss him too much.
Asylum. Madison.
Wait, you're muted. You're muted, I think.
He muted himself.
Sorry, yes, I'm saying cut Madison.
Cut Madison. Okay. All right. How about Abdullah?
I would keep him as a depth piece. I know he's older, but he could be maybe like a Zach Crockett type of running back. You know, you could throw him in there for some short yardage, and he did pretty well in the return game.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Asylum?
Oh, I'll keep Abdullah. I mean, he shows up, he has his ups and downs, but, like a third down back, somebody that you need, special packages, again, on returns or something. He's got a few more years left in him, as a depth piece, I'll keep him.
Right. Now we move on to Jordan Meredith. Now, y'all already know I'm ditching, except for the rookies, I'm ditching the whole line. Okay. Not that. So you already know what I think. But what are you thinking about Meredith? He didn't do.
Well, I like Meredith, and I think Asylum would agree. I like Meredith because he was very serviceable, and he kept James off the field. So,
right.
He was serviceable for being a undrafted free agent coming in and being. I think this would be his second year with the in the league and with the Raiders. So yeah. So sorry. Go ahead, Asylum.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you. Keep him as a depth piece. Something like that. Get somebody to be in there full time, but he could be maybe somebody serviceable as a depth piece. Just in there when needed, and injury comes up, play a couple games, something like that. I'll take him as a depth piece, but not beyond that. Not as a starter.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Chasen.
Keep.
I believe he earned his keep. They should bring him in to be whether it's a rotation. If they do re-sign, why am I forgetting his name? At the other end, Kuntz. If they do re-sign him to like a 1 year, because this would have been his free agent, his contract year, but he ended up getting hurt. So if they re-sign Kuntz, let's say on a 1 year prove it deal, I would like to have Clavon Chason in there, if more for either rotational or just to be that depth piece. If let's just say Max Crosby has another injury like he did this last season, so I would keep him.
Right. And Asylum, you are.
I keep him. I mean, I think coming in like he did, partway through the season, he stepped up. He's definitely. I like to see what he could do. He could be that rotational piece, in there, going and being able to spell somebody, and you're not too worried about him being on the field, when he's in there. So yeah, he's a definite keep, in my opinion.
Now I'm looking at Butler next on the list, and Butler, I have a problem with his consistency in the middle, especially his run-stopping consistency. I mean, there have been times where people have gashed us with huge holes, and that's my problem with him, his consistency as a player. I wouldn't keep him. I would let him go. What are y'all thinking about Butler?
With Christian Wilkins with his injury early in the year, and just basically revolving door in the interior of the defensive line. He had his moments. I know he's 30 right now, so he's not up there, but he's a little up there. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep him, but I think it all depends on what whoever the new defensive coordinator is, if Patrick Graham does leave the organization, I know. Yeah, I mean, I made a bold prediction that he'll be the head coach next year or this coming year because they're trying to keep some kind of continuity. I could be wrong. I could be way off. I just want to be like those clickbaiters and throw them out there like, yeah, Patrick Graham's going to be our head coach. Let's go.
But you don't pose as the truth. Sources say. Sources say that, Patrick Graham. I wouldn't have probably Graham taken over at all.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm so stunned about the Raiders. I mean, I know that successful organizations don't change coaches every year. So let's get back to our list. How about Spillane?
You go, Salam.
That's a definite keep. I mean, I'm pissed off at Telesco for not re-signing his ass during the season.
Well, yeah, what was that all about? I mean,
you had an opportunity. You had that opportunity to lock him up, be done with it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Not getting too expensive. You could have locked him up at a decent price. I mean, hands down, since he's been on the Raiders, he's turned his career around. He couldn't get interceptions. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do that. And everything they said he couldn't do, he's done on the Raiders. Splains hands down. I might have to go pull a Tanya Harding on Telesco if he don't fucking re-sign him and re-sign him quick.
I mean, Sunday he had 16 tackles, 6 solo. I mean, that was just spectacular. He was everywhere. I mean, you can't lose a guy like that in your offense. That's why your defense. That's why you have 10 assists. Okay. But I have 16 but I'm just saying that's something that we have to look at. Let's go back to our list because we're still shopping. The Homeboy Shopping Network linebacker Divine Diablo.
He was injured a lot this year. Along with, I know Nate Hobbs is coming up. He was injured a lot this year. He was chasing a lot. He
just doesn't have that instinct of knowing where like Spillane does, of knowing where the play is going.
Yeah.
And for a linebacker, that's deadly. I need my linebackers to be there in the gaps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would think, I'm sorry, real quick, you would think Divine Diablo being the former safety, he'll be able to cover the tight ends very well coming off the line of scrimmage, but that middle of the field has still been questionable. So sorry, Salam, go ahead.
Oh no. It's fine. You went first. No, I mean Divine Diablo, I wouldn't mind bringing him in on a 1 year, a rotational piece kind of thing. The only thing he was really good at was blitzing.
And even that was something that just happened this year. He wasn't doing any blitzing before that, not last year.
Yeah, but I mean that's all I see. I like to see him. We drafted him. He was that trying to be that homegrown. There's a possibility of a potential there, kind of like the Robert Spillane back when he was with who was he with?
The Pittsburgh Steelers or the Titans?
Steelers, right? Kind of that situation. Maybe a new team helps him, maybe it doesn't. But if he was to go, I wouldn't be sad.
No, I mean the instincts just aren't there. He's late arriving, and that's what I've been complaining about him. And then I've still got in my mind Jonnu Smith. Miami's blowing right by him. His eyes in the backfield. Jack Jones does that a lot too. Just gets on my nerve. Why are your eyes in the backfield peeled while blowing right by you? All right, Nate Hobbs, guys. What are you thinking about him?
Nate.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Nate Hobbs for me. I know. Great, nickel corner, everything. I'd like to give him at least one more year and see if he could turn into, something. I see the potential with him, but I don't want to go too big, too long, anything else like that. if he was willing to, I'd give him a 1-year contract, a prove-it deal. This coming after this, and see where it goes from there.
Right.
Excuse me. I when Nate Hobbs is not in the lineup, you can tell. But Nate Hobbs has been injured. Like this whole season was probably the most he's been out of the lineup. And I know Hobbs will probably get a lot of attention when he goes to the open market. I don't know if he'll accept. I know he wanted to come back. He had said that after the game post game that he wanted to come back and he really wanted to play for Antonio Pierce. Don't know if him getting fired changes his views on that. But I think with him, you would have to probably give him a multi-year. Not saying you got to break the bank, but you got to give him a multi-year deal for him to stay. I believe he might get more. A lot of teams will be looking at him, and if we can get him back, I would like him back. But there's also, like I said, the injury factor, and we missed him for it felt like half the season, and you can tell on the field that those slot receivers were getting free. So I would love him back. It all depends on how the Raiders played in the offseason with the free agency market. So
that's why I say a prove-it deal. A prove-it deal. 1 year prove-it deal.
Okay.
Go from there because I do see the potential in him. Like you were saying, he has been missed and everything else, but I just think because of the injuries, he might have to take that 1 year deal just to be able to prove he can be healthy.
Yeah. I mean, he go out. All right, let's move on to Epps, guys. And another guy, I mean, is this not the second year in a row that he's been hurt for a substantial period of time? I think last year.
No, he played most of last year.
Did he play most of last year?
He played most of last year. I do believe he did have an injury last year, but it wasn't like this year where he missed he missed some games, but I think it was a few games, not as much as this year.
Games. Yeah, he missed more than 10 games this year. What was going on with Epps? Yeah, ACL. He was out September 23rd. I mean, he was gone basically for the entire season. Yeah, do you keep him or you do a 1 year prove it deal, guys?
You want me to go or you go?
No, you go.
Okay. For me, I want to keep Epps. I like what he does on the field, and I like his leadership for that secondary because when he's been on the field, he gets that secondary, in the right spots. Now, do the players do their job right? That's a different story, but he puts them in the right spots. I like him as that veteran, and I like him as that on-field teacher. And just like when injured, I still think the good we had coming out of Bennett before he got hurt, Palomau, more shit like that. I think that has something to do with Marcus Epps helping and teaching there. So for those reasons, I want to keep Epps.
Okay.
Marcus Epps, I mean, I said it before, Marcus Epps is almost he kind of was like that veteran defensive back quarterback that we haven't had since Charles Woodson's second stint when he came back and was playing safety for us before he retired. I would like Marcus Epps to come back, and I saw the comment, at least like a 1 year just to kind of get the youngsters a little bit more. I guess like Asylum said, to teach, to be that mentor on the field, and like I said, it's hard to really. Because you don't know what's going to happen with who's going to be calling the defense and what kind of scheme they're going to run. But if we're just talking just in general, I would like him to come back and be that veteran back there, since we do have one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So I would like to have him back, maybe like on a 1 or 2 year deal. But I would like to have him back just to be that veteran presence out there.
All right, guys. Trayvon Moehrig. Man, he stepped his game up to a new level this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
this year, yes, I agree with this year. For me, Trayvon Moehrig, I think that's a 2 year deal right there to see if that's that. Is he really set?
Exactly.
Stepped up and, and gone, give him a 2-year deal and go. It's not quite a prove it deal. It's a little bit of faith in him, to keep it going, and then he can get that big contract if he can keep this up. The fact that it took him to year 4 is the only thing that's got me a little concerned. Most players that you want to go, it's that year 3 that they hit this. That year 3, year 4, then they hit their big deal. Right. For him to go to year 4, I do like what I see out of him, and I do like him. So I would keep him if we could get him on a 2-year deal, kind of a situation.
Right.
Yeah. Personally.
And this is something that we have, and Savage, I know you have something to say about Morgan, but this is something we've talked about with a lot of the draft picks from 2-3 years ago. That once again the clickbait media has taken over the narrative. I think we still got some gems on our roster, and they weren't Telesco. They were here before Telesco.
Yeah.
And for instance, Palomao. Who knew?
Yeah.
What do you think of Savage on Palomao?
I would say with him tied with Trayvon Morgan, them two back there playing the two safeties, I think with them having to, for lack of a better term, having to grow up as fast as they had to in this season because of all the injuries, that they were able to play, at a higher level and then play off of each other. So they do have that rapport with each other. So if it was them two back there playing safety, I feel like they do have that communication. They do have that together. So, and in the way Palomar had played with like just the last 3-4 weeks alone, when he was making plays and causing turnovers, we didn't get our first fumble until he knocked the ball out of I think it wasn't Jack. No, it was I can't remember.
Jacksonville.
It was, yeah,
it was a Jacksonville game.
Jacksonville game.
I believe it was out of what is it? Etane's hands.
Yeah, yeah. So I think with the both of them, I would like to have both of them come back. I know Palomar will probably get a lot more offers. Being of how he looked at the end of the season, and then his maybe people, I'm just throwing out there his ties to his uncle, the Hall of Fame safety. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? Troy Polamalu
from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. So I know he'll get a lot of looks from a lot of organizations, but I would like to keep both of them and have them both work together because they built that rapport with just this year alone because they had to go out there and make plays. So. Yes, I would like to keep them both.
And guys, this is an Asylum. I know. Go ahead and say what you have to say about him.
I was going to say, you got to remember, right there, he's a restricted free agent. So in order for another team to get him, they have to give us a draft pick in order to get it. So we can actually keep him for the year and still maybe get him on the cheap by, giving him a contract extension outside of this and be able to keep him for a few more years and see how he can progress and not have to worry too much. Because, people may be looking at him, but let's say you put a 2nd or 3rd round grade on him and they have to give up that pick. Are they going to be willing to give that up to get him? Or can you keep him for the year and then early on in the season, give him a 3-year extension, 2-year extension, something like that, get him for the cheap on there and see how he progresses. And if he doesn't progress, you'll be able to get rid of him and not be a big hit, for the team.
Well, guys, this is what makes the departure of AP even more tragic for these young guys. When you got something going, it's not broke. Why are you breaking something that wasn't broke? I'm afraid the chemistry, the continuity, we don't know whether Graham is staying. We don't even know if Lewis is going to stay. You think a new head coach is going to want a Marvin Lewis peering over his shoulder? Are y'all really serious? I don't think so. Okay.
I don't think Lewis is staying. No, I don't. I agree. I don't think he's going to because of his position in there. That AP had him as assistant head coach and all that. I think Lewis is going. Besides, we talked about this yesterday. Lewis didn't look happy on the sidelines, not being able to have complete control. And I don't think he's going to sit behind somebody else again. He may have done it for AP, but even if AP stayed, I had a feeling Lewis was gone this year anyways.
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah.
I think so.
And we were really fortunate to have that kind of presence. And, this is probably what Mark is pointing to. I did bring in people to help Pierce. This is what he's probably pointing to. That I brought in Coughlin, right? I brought in Joe Philbin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I did bring in, but what you didn't bring in is an OC and a quarterback. I can't understand why you would think between Minshew, O'Connell, and Ritter that solved the quarterback problem. You didn't even have a starter, which was another reason why Cliff Kingsbury was never coming here. Okay? I don't care what people are saying. He was never going to come here.
I mean, we've been saying since last year when we saw how bad Garoppolo looked last year that give O'Connell the shot, and he's made progress. But you heard it, what you seen in the beginning of the show when we were showing clips of AP in his last two press conferences that he wished he would have went with O'Connell, but he deferred to whoever else, Telesco or Getsy, and we never really got to see O'Connell be the guy from day one. I know that whoever comes in as quarterback, whether it is through free agency or with that number 6 draft pick, however they try to trade up or whatever, there's going to be they would rather have, if it's a rookie, they would rather have him sit and maybe O'Connell start this next season, or if it's a veteran, have the veteran take over and just have O'Connell on that rookie contract and be the backup. We just think that, I just think that with the way the offense was, and I had showed that graphic, with the way the offense was, you had two different ideologies, and then, with O'Connell, he had 4 play callers in his 2 years into the NFL. McDaniels, Hardigree, Legacy, and Scott Turner. So
ridiculous.
They're turning him into the next Derek Carr with all the different head coaches and offensive coordinators that he's had. We do believe in him, but it all depends on who the coach is going to be next year, offense or defensive minded, and then what type, what the plan is going into the offseason, free agency and the draft. So,
I mean, guys, this firing of AP done more. I know some people are talking about setting us back 5 years, but what it does for players, we have got to start thinking about it from a player point of view for just a second. The lack of continuity means all their jobs are on the line.
Yeah.
They don't know who to be. Whether he fit, they don't know who the new DC, who the new OC is going to be, whether they fit into the new scheme. All of these guys are scared for their jobs. Okay?
Yeah,
you have placed them in a situation where there is total uncertainty. And even if the new coach comes in, you can't believe anything he says. He might be McDaniels, right? Yes, like he told Carr, yes, we're going with you. You're our guy.
Yeah.
And they lied, straight up lied. Okay? That could happen to you where you're just straight up lied to. There's so much uncertainty for our players now. They don't know what's going to happen next. They don't know whether they should listen to free agent offers. Okay? They don't know whether they should be looking for their next team, contacting their little coaching network. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got to preserve my career. I don't know who the next guy is going to be, whether he's going to want me.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and that trickles down, and people keep going. That trickles down to every player. There might be a coach out there that doesn't want to keep a Max Crosby because he doesn't feel like he likes his attitude because he keeps talking about this or saying this, and I don't want to be second guessed by my star player. So I'd rather get the draft picks for him and get him out of here and be able to have my own guys here. So, I mean, in all reality, as you say, everyone's fearing for their job, and that goes for absolutely everybody on the team because you don't know what the new head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, you don't know what they're going to want and what they're expecting out of their players. Some coaches are, believe it or not, I mean, it happened to us once already with Khalil Mack and John Gruden. Now, it was opposite. It wasn't John Gruden didn't want Khalil Mack, but Khalil Mack did not want to play. He made it perfectly clear. He did not want to stay here.
Raiders were going to kill his career, and I don't care what anybody says. He knew that all that double and triple teaming, without getting the pieces around him, he gave them 4 years to build a defense around them, and they never did. He's sitting up there getting double and triple teamed. He's like, oh, this guy's going to kill me. Let me get out of here.
Yeah.
And Max might be thinking the same thing, by the way. I mean, Wilkins was the hope, but he got hurt. And then Max was right back to double and triple teams.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, a guy gets tired of that after a while. He gets tired of putting his body. And look what happened to Max's body. What was that, a high ankle sprain?
High ankle sprain, yeah. It was a grade 3.
Right. And he had surgery.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And that's going to happen to him year after year after year if the Raiders don't surround him with good DTs and talent. And now everybody is just, I mean, I really feel sorry for the players. They're like, what am I going to do now? Oh, please. I think, do we have Wilkins locked up for 3 years? I think.
No, 4. I thought it was 4. I thought he had like a 5-year contract, right?
Yeah.
Year's done. We got him for 4 more years.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. I thought we had him locked up for a little while, but there again, you have a new regime coming in.
Yeah. See. Okay. Yeah. I was right. 4 years left. 4 years left on his contract.
Yeah. After the season. Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. You're right, and now we don't know. He's got a roster bonus coming up this year too, $20 million. Wow.
And then there's a lot of people because everyone's talking in hindsight. See, I told you, but it's known. When I'm gonna just put the list up so I can remember names right now. There's so many names and so many things I put together. Okay, when Russell Wilson was available, I don't want Russell Wilson. Now that he did what he's doing in Pittsburgh, see, we should have got Russell Wilson $1 million because the Broncos are paying this contract. Same thing with Justin Fields. Oh yeah, we don't want Justin Fields because look, actually that was kind of half split. Some wanted him, some didn't. And then the way he looked in Pittsburgh, and oh man, we should have went for Justin Fields. It's a lot of hindsight. But looking at let's say if we do go the veteran route outside of drafting a quarterback with the high pick, with the 6th pick. Right. Sam Darnold should be the Vikings should be smart and keep Sam Darnold because of how he's turned around his career with that team. And I know he didn't look all that great this last game against the Lions, but overall
it was a division game. I mean, all bets are off.
Oh, that's because of Meek Robertson shutting down Justin Jefferson. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, they just know the guy. If y'all are looking at, I see your list of quarterbacks. I just, I just don't see anybody on the list that's better than. Well, as well keep O'Connell. I mean, you were gonna get a new OC anyway. Even if AP had stayed, you were going to get his. What would that make him? His 5th OC. Right?
Yeah.
And guys, did y'all hear the rumor that Turner had been clickbait, right? The rumor that Turner had been offered a job in North Carolina with Belichick.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear he was offered. I heard he was the front runner for the job in North Carolina with Bill Belichick.
Yeah. And that's when he had one of his worst play calling games on that Monday night game against Atlanta. with Ritter at quarterback. He had one of the worst play call. Seemed like the worst game plan. I know Ritter is not a quarterback that likes to go under center because you only saw him do it once, and that was to kill the clock. But that story broke out, and then that Monday night game, it was just it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. So I was like, was he distracted? Because Bill Belichick called him.
Again, the uncertainty. We couldn't get Graham re-signed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we couldn't get like you said, didn't grab Spillane and get him re-signed. I'm not sure what Telesco's thinking, but there were signs that Telesco didn't want AP. It was signed early.
Yeah, and it was all.
I don't know if I trust Telesco's choice in head coach, though.
there were, like, they said that Telesco didn't want to re-sign Amik Robertson. This is not like sources, and just from what they're saying, the overall view.
Heard in articles and other things like that, and in our homework that we've done for the show.
Yes. I don't have those stats yet to show the former Raiders from last year's team and what they've gone out and do.
Guys, we need to do that because I like little Meek. I liked his little, especially when he leapt up into the air and he got that interception in the Green Bay game.
Yeah.
The guy must have been 5 feet off the ground.
Yeah, and that was one of the guys that I was upset that we lost because of how he emerged last year, and it was said that Telesco probably saw him as a role guy and not necessarily like a starter, so he let him walk, ends up going signing with the Lions, and he was put on display on that game, on that Sunday night game, and how we shut down Jefferson. So on the surface, it looks like, look, we gave another great athlete away. I know Josh Jacobs has been having a decent year with the Green Bay Packers, and they're in the playoffs. And it was said that, as much as AP wanted him and Josh Jacobs wanted to play for AP, he wasn't re-signed. But, there's a lot of untold parts of that whole negotiation. One side saying one thing, the other side saying the other. So I don't know how much of that, is solid foundation to base it on that. But, we don't know what's going to happen as we go into the next coaching staff and what they're going to do with these players that will be free agents when that March date comes and the free agency period starts. So
I'm just thinking, and I've got to run because, of course, all my juices are flowing. But I just wanted to just end by saying, going back, and I'm going to talk about this more tonight on the New England Boosters, about the things that the Raiders used to stand for. Most of all, integrity. We took care of our players. We didn't lie to them. We didn't send them off marching. If they got sent off, they knew why. Okay? It wasn't, we're not going to talk to you, but the Raiders have been dishonest and disloyal, and this is something new, and I think it has to do with the Patriot influence. They are one of the most shady and dishonest franchises ever to play in the NFL, and I can't believe that people are so eager to hook our brand up with theirs. Anyway, guys, gotta go. And we will see you in 2 weeks. And hopefully we'll have a lot more to know about the search for the next pick. Right?
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on, and like I said before you came on, doing your best Michael Jordan impersonation. With the flu, but you still came and showed up and showed out. So
once I come once I come on with you two guys, it's like energized, I can't believe I have energy because I was a dead duck about an hour ago.
Yeah.
You said a half hour, but you were on for an hour.
Yeah.
And I will talk to you in 2 weeks. We'll know more about the thing. And I'm going to see my New England boosters tonight, 10 o'clock, right? Jeff LaFontaine. And we are going to talk about the philosophy of the Raiders for a while. Okay.
Yes.
See you soon, guys.
All right. Take care, Miss Peggy. All right, we want
her for the full hour that we normally have her for. After
Yes.
she didn't think she was going to make it.
Yeah, she didn't come out. She started and she never got on the bench. She stayed in, and like I said, she showed up, showed out, flew or not. She did her Michael Jordan impersonation.
You have a Jim Otto on the show, and now you have a Max Crosby on the show.
Yes, but what does that make me then?
We're trying to figure that out still.
Okay, yeah. It's probably the glasses, according to one of the hecklers from yesterday.
Yeah.
It's probably the glasses.
Maybe we'll call you the Jim Plunkett. We'll see.
The Jim
coming
Plunkett.
out of nowhere, right? Rich Gannon, all the shit you do behind the scenes, right? All the hard work behind the scenes. We'll get it figured out. We'll get you a good one.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it. The what'd you call me again? The what?
It was either Rich Gannon or Jim Plunkett. Rich Gannon, because we know all the hard work Rich Gannon did behind the scenes, right? You got the whole pool table scenario when he was sitting there trying to do the work, in the headquarters and shit, and didn't like the sound of the ball, so he took it away. All that shit, right? You do a lot of work behind the scenes. I mean, you do the graphics, you do everything. You do a lot of work.
I'll be the Bill Romanski of the show, who is the senior, the senior equipment manager. Okay, I'll be the Run Jones from back in the day.
All right, man. Now you just, I mean, I like the Romanski. I mean, you know what? The unseen hero.
Yes.
Of the fucking unseen hero. People who know the Raiders know about Romanski. And what you do behind the scenes. I like that one.
Thank you. I'm the Bill Romanski. Shouts out to Bill Romanski. I met him once when I used to deliver to the when I used to deliver to the Raiders facility when they had their facility in Alameda when they were still in Oakland, and I would deliver like all like there'd be a whole bunch of boxes of their cleats and everything, and this is like right before the season, so I delivered it and I saw him come out, Bill Romanski, and me, the Raider fan, I'm all like, dude, you're Bill Romanski. And he looked at me like, how does this guy know who the head equipment manager is? But he had like a smile, like,
who I am.
Yeah, he's all. I said, sorry. I'm a big Raider fan. I know everybody that's on the. I study every year. And he goes, you want a T-shirt? I say yes. Okay, come with me. I said, all right. Step to a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. So yeah, that was one of my that was one of the I guess the great things about the job that I had at the time and when they were still in Oakland, that if I was able to do that route and deliver to the Alameda facility, and I got to see, like, I saw at the time, I think it was like Rashard, I saw he was there. He was talking to one of the assistant coaches, because I was able to go inside the building, and this was during Jack Del Rio's time. So that's all I really saw. I saw Rashard, but outside of that, Bill Romanski, and I was like, bro, do you know who you are? Do you know who I am? So,
I know who you are. Do you know who you are? God damn it!
I know. Do you know who I am? Are you getting me mixed up with someone? No, I know who you are. You're the guy. So. Anyways, we want to thank Miss Peggy when we were getting ready and she came on early and we were doing like kind of like a little pre-show production. Like this is all the
your production meeting. That's what it's called.
Yes.
A production meeting.
Yes, we were going through the playbook. Okay, this is what we're gonna run. And then she goes, "Well, I'm a little sick. I got the flu, so I probably can give you a half hour." Like, hey, whatever you can give us, we will take and appreciate that still, whether it was taking that tussin, that diamond tap or whatever to get you out and go on live. We appreciate it. And she ended up going the full hour that she usually does. So look at shot.
Hey, we got her all worked up to the point she forgot she was sick for an hour.
Yeah. And look at shouts out to your Budweiser right there. Shouts out to that Raiders fan right there. All right. So Asylum, okay, this is basically 24 hours after the Raiders have let go of AP, relieved him of his duties. And though there's no like groundbreaking news, whatever to talk about, there has been some talk of who the Raiders have requested to become or for interviews for the head coaching position. So,
Oh, sorry, this last comment though.
It would be nice if Savage talked in the third. Oh, yeah.
The Raiders Savage says this is what's going to happen. And this is what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. Oh, yeah, the Savage believes that the Raiders over here, they do a little thing right now. We're going to go over there. We're going to.
Raiders believes when the Raiders are good, the NFL is good. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When the Raiders are good, the NFL, the crop, the cream of the crop rises to the top. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, anyways. Mean Gene Oakland. That's what I used to say. Mean Gene Oakland. Not Oakland. Oakland. Oh, yeah. Okay. Your source is Savage. Your Savage source for Oakland. Your Savage source for Las Vegas news. Oh, yeah. The Savage will come over here and bring you the news of the Oakland Raiders. Yeah. Yeah, let me say one thing. The Raiders, a lot of questions. Yeah, a lot of questions, but wait. We're going to go a little 360 and then 180. Oh, yeah. I predict victory going into 2025. Oh, yeah. Okay, anyways. It's been a while since I did that voice. Looking at the requested coach's interview. Oh, yeah. We got Liam Cohen, Buccaneers offensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel, of course, he's the hot number one. What's the hot topic? Like, yeah, the t-shirt place. He is the top coordinate. Start over. He is a top candidate to be the next Raiders coach, but he's also being courted by his old people, the Patriots over there after they let go of Gerard Mayo. Brian Flores, the Vikings DC. He was the head coach of I think I said Miami to Jeff Show on earlier. Because he was the head coach for the Miami Dolphins, and then that whole tanking allegations, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the two coordinators for the Detroit Lions, they both have been requested for interviews. Ben Johnson actually will have his virtual interview.
I was going to say, someone asked a question earlier about confirmation. Now, there's the rumor of Vrabel is already interviewed with the Raiders. I'm not sure about that one. So that's kind of a confirmation that he has or will. And Ben Johnson is supposed to interview with the Raiders, a virtual interview this Friday.
Yes.
With the Raiders. So we have two confirmations of interviews that either has happened or is coming up of at least two candidates.
Yes, the Vrabel, I forgot who posted it on Twitter. But they said that he's lined up for an interview. I don't think he's had it yet, but he is lined up for the interview. Ben Johnson, that was per JT the Brick earlier today when they went live on the Raider YouTube page. He had said that Ben Johnson will have his virtual interview this Friday. So that came from JT the Brick, who also works for the Raiders. So we're going to say that's a credible source. Aaron Glenn, these are guys that were requested. Not sure if it was confirmed that they would do it. I want to say, yeah. Steve Spagnuolo, he was requested also.
That's a new one that came out today about as a candidate. We'll use the word candidate for him.
What's up, Rick? Happy New Year in Hawaii. I celebrated Hawaii's Hawaii's New Year's 3 hours later, or maybe because I couldn't go to sleep, or maybe because I don't know. There was some champagne, and you get confused because when you're younger, you drink the Martinellis and you're like, oh yeah, you can kill a whole bottle. Then when you have actual champagne, oh yeah, oh God, yeah, Happy New Year, yeah. Yeah, right. Anyways, yeah. I need a shot to clean it. It's even worse. Okay, anyways. All right, so yeah, and that was another one that I was watching Q show on YouTube, and he even threw out Bruce Arians because of his ties with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay when they won that Super Bowl when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, and the fact that he was able to turn around organizations when Chuck Pagano was battling cancer and he had to step down in the middle of the year when he was coaching the Colts. Bruce Arians took over and he was able to keep that team competitive. And then when he went to the Cardinals, he got them going. And then when he went to the Buccaneers, and I think he was able to help. I don't want to say turn around, but he was able to help Jameis Winston kind of get over the turnover because he had the 30 touchdowns, 30 interception season, and he was able to use him as a serviceable quarterback until Brady came over from the Patriots. They won that Super Bowl.
Thinking about them damn crab legs. That's what it was.
But he did step down because he had like health issues. I think he was like dealing with, I don't know if it was like heart issues, the chest issues, chest pains or whatever. But
I agree, Jessica, 100%.
We've been trying to get we're like, hey, Asylum's always drinking it. If we can get a Budweiser sponsorship, I know, hey, you're gonna see Asylum trying to do his best to promote Budweiser, and it'll end up like this.
Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag.
Me?
I just trying to Budweiser. Hey, drink it, and the bad season will go away. Okay? Because when you're a Raiders fan, the liver, it knows from August to January, it knows to be strong. And if the Raiders can be like my liver, we're going to the Super Bowl. Okay? I don't care what you say. All right? We're going to the Super Bowl. So, let's play like my liver. Raider Nation for life. All right. All right, anyways. Yeah, I do a lot of voices too. You want to hear my Mahomes?
I'm not here.
Okay, anyways. All right, Asylum. Anyways, we're falling off the rails right now. We're going falling off the rails right now. Let's bring him back right now, Asylum. All right. Looking at these Raider situations going on right here. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Anyways, now whoever the head coach is going to be. Sorry, we did a little. We like to kind of throw a little comedy over there. Because the kind of season that we had, you got to laugh at something because it was like, my girlfriend, and she's in there, Jessica, she's in there. She knows. I'll be watching the game. We're going downfield. Interception. What the? And then she's all like, turn our son. Close your ears. Earmuffs. Why? Turnover. Okay, earmuffs. So, so anyways, looking at the situation that the Raiders are in, whoever the new regime is going to be in, you see over here this list. Average age on roster, 25 years, 344. So basically 26 years. Second youngest in NFL. Their cap space, which is the second most, $107.3 million. Projected going into this coming year. Currently hold the 6th overall pick in 2025 NFL draft and third most draft capital with 10 picks. You see we got the 6, 37, 68, 73, 107, 142, 179, 212, 216, and 222. So that means that we do have some kind of ammo if we want to attempt to move up and maybe entice some of these higher ranking, some of these higher draft picks, the Titans, the Browns. I know the Giants probably won't move. They'll probably try to go up because they do need a quarterback. They got rid of their quarterback.
Hold on, the first 3 picks need quarterbacks.
I know, yeah, but the Browns, Watson did try to restructure his deal, but Watson has been, he's been very injury prone since he became a Brown. The Titans, they do have Levis, but like, huh?
Do you blame him?
Blame who? The Browns or him?
Him. Do you blame him?
I just think, you know, he's just been through a
he
lot.
Got paid and said, fuck it. He put an Albert Hayworth.
Got that big contract, and then, hey, you know what, guys? I think I'm hurt. Not like the other guy we had. I think I have a hamstring. I'm not going to play.
Oh, yeah, you know, that all of a sudden hammy. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
you know. You can't even fucking know about, you know, you just got to go with what he says.
Yeah. And now I want to be traded. Oh, look, all of a sudden my hamstring works. Okay. You look at the Titans, you know, they have a Will Levis, and he'll have flashes of good, and then he'll have flashes of, why did we draft this guy? No wonder you dropped down to the second round, early second round, I think he was. So
I think you're right. I think you're right on that.
And
everything I've been reading is they're done with Levis and they're looking for a quarterback.
Yeah, and then you see these are the 6 teams that are without head coaches. Huh?
As of right now.
As of right now, these are because the Cowboys can end up on this list. But as of right now, you see these are the 6 teams that are without head coaches. So we probably won't really know. We can all just speculate on how the draft would go now, but we still have, you know, with the Jets and the Patriots and the Jaguars, Jets, and Patriots, who are ahead of us in the draft, you know, draft order. The Jets are right beneath us, and then, you know, the Browns are set at quarterback. The Bears are set at quarterback, but, you know, we're all just waiting to see when the first pieces are going to fall when it comes to head coaches, and then see what goes from there, especially in our situation, on what type of coach we're going to have, offense or defense, and what type of offense we're going to run, whether it's going to be like a, you know, I keep seeing Mahomes in the comments, like a Chiefs type of style offense, you know, or a power back. You know, we don't know until whoever comes in, and then we'll kind of understand what they're going to try to do when it comes to this team and the offense in general, because our offense hasn't been great or consistent the last couple of years, and, you know, it's all tied to the turnaround we've had.
Head coaching carousel.
Yes, that we've had in Mark Davis's tenure alone. Antonio Pierce is his 8th coach that he has let go, and he'll be going on to his 9th. The John Gruden rumors are just rumors, but people are setting that are I guess setting that, you know, where maybe he can come back. He's already paying him, even though it was a settlement, but he's already paying him. Bring him back and let him finish what he started for the 3rd time in a row.
Again, though, they reached a settlement, so I don't think he's actually paying him, because I think he paid him off. I'm not 100% on that. That is something I, you know, heard, you know, in the background, that they reached a settlement and he's paid off. But you bring him back again, and let's say you get rid of him again, you're paying him twice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, you know, it's a rumor as of right now, but we know how rumors are. They can always become the truth.
And it's just like, this is what us Raider fans go through. Whether if it's not every other year, it's every year on, all right, who's the next contestant in Survivor? Raider head coach edition. And
that should be a show right there. Survivor. The Raiders
You have Mark. You have Mark Davis with all the tiki torches. All right, guys. Now, we're gonna try to figure out who the head coach is, but I'm gonna defer to my second man here, Tom Brady. And Tom Brady comes. All right, guys. Now, which one of you are against the Patriots? Are you? Okay, you're out of here. All right. Now, who do we have left? No, I don't know. But the main guy who looks like, and even all the writers and all the speculators who work around the team and report on the team, they are pointing that the direction that the Raiders want to go, that's why they had to let go of AP, was this man right here, Mike Vrabel. If you look at his head coaching record, this is all with the Tennessee Titans, six seasons with the Titans. He's taken his team to the playoffs 3 times. With the 2-3 record, and overall regular season record 54-45 in those 6 years. He spent. Sorry, I was drinking this. They're Smirnoff, zero sugar because I'm trying to eat well and drink well, so there's no sugar in that. So it's kind of coming back up again. I should have added a Budweiser because that seemed to go down smoothly. But hey, it still tastes like Kool-Aid, but I don't know. It's coming up. Bleh, bleh. Anyways, maybe it's because like Anna put up there, it's making me sick. All these former pages I put the graphic, put the graphic up, Anyways, he's looking at it, and a lot of folks are like, "Hey, bring him in, huh?"
Patriots way 2.0, or is it because we have Brady? It's 2.5.
It's I don't know why Mark Davis is in love with the Patriot way. I don't know what it is, and I know they had their they had their success, but I mean any coach, and I know Vrabel's probably the only exception. Coaches that had left. Well, actually, it's coaches that had left the coaching staff don't do well. He was a player first, who played for the Patriots, and then did his thing, went around, and then became the head coach of the Titans. He didn't come directly from the Patriots coaching tree. He was a player, so maybe that is right there. The difference is he didn't come from the coaching tree. He was a player that was able to have a successful coaching career as of now.
He still has that fucking if you walk off the coaching tree, that Belichick mentality though, from a player, he's still when he coaches, there's still that hint of Belichick in everything he does.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna look what he did with the Titans, and all he had was Tannehill, so and he was able to get them going. They also had the running back with the Ravens now. They also had him. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Maurice Jones-Drew?
No. The running back, the wrong era. The running back for the Ravens right now. I'm forgetting his name. But he had him.
Henry.
Henry, yeah, Derrick Henry, King Henry, yeah. They had him as running back. You said Maurice Jones-Drew. That was Jaguars.
Hey, I'm blaming the Budweiser. Fuck it.
That was that that entry of information is brought to you by Budweiser. See, it works. We can do it. So Maurice Jones-Drew from the Jaguars when Del Rio was head coach.
It was still a crappy team, okay? Fuck you.
But that is what everyone's looking at. But like Rick said in the comments, he's going to be with. We all feel that he's going to the Patriots, and from what I heard, is that the Patriots are going to try to sign him. I don't know if he's had an interview with the Patriots already, but I think they satisfied the Rooney Rule. The Patriots did, so they might try to bring him in and sign him up real quick on Wednesday, on Thursday, so tomorrow, just to get him. Okay, we got him, all right. Huh?
I'm responding to Jeff. I don't have to be nice.
So, I mean, it's we're put in another position as Raider fans to figure out who's going to be the next guy that we're either going to cheer for or call for his head like we did with McDaniels.
Oh, no,
I
I made it clear yesterday. Depending on the record, I don't want to hear certain shit.
Yeah.
Whoever this head coach is, I don't want to hear certain shit. If he fucking falls on his face, ends up with the same record, crappy record, whatever it is, I don't want to hear anything about the second year. I expect a new head coach next year. The year after, if he fucking can't turn this team around in one season.
Yeah. Because, you know, so, see, I feel that I have three coaches that I think will be the three main ones that are, you know, whether it's going to, if it's first one's going to be Vrabel, but most likely he'll be taken by the, thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Cause I was watching Jeff's show when I was, finishing some of the stuff for our show. And I was over there typing to him when I was putting into some of the graphics. So I was all, oh, here, let me share some information, you know, because it was him and,
Rebel.
huh? No,
Rebel.
it was Jeff. Yeah, Rebel. Yeah. They had him on the show. So, and they were just kind of going back and forth with the comments. I was trying to like provide information, you know, about like the free agent market and the head coaches that the Raiders are putting together to have interviews with. But, you know, we're stuck again in another season. And it was funny because last year.
You said you had three choices. Your three choice or three, which you leave for the three head coaches.
Yeah. I was going to say is that, you know, we're here in the same position again like last year where we thought, okay, it's going to be either AP or other. And then that other became Harbaugh. So I was like, it's going to be AP or other. And it was kind of like 60-40, 70-30 going to AP and then 30 going to Harbaugh. And then we see what's going on with the how the Chargers turn their season around, but you know they had their franchise quarterback. They knew basically who the main pieces are, and they just needed a coach to be able to just take them to the next level. The Raiders were in a different position. You saw the quarterbacks, and I'm gonna say what I was gonna say. You saw the quarterbacks that we had, and we believe in Aiden O'Connell. If we just, you know, if they would have started from the beginning, a lot of folks believe that if we would have just started from the beginning with O'Connell, we probably would have had a different season. Maybe, you know, AP is not trying to do too much and listen to too much of all his other assistant coaches who were ex head coaches. So, but I mean, I think there's going to be three coaches that probably would fit. I would say if it's not Vrabel, which I'm going to say most likely we can just kind of, I mean, until he signed, of course, with the Patriots. But speculation, I'll say he's going to the Patriots, so let's just cut him out the mix. So now it's two.
And we're saying speculation. This is what we believe. We're not saying it's fact. It's what we believe.
Yes, it's clickbait. No, it's not.
I'm always making sure we're not doing clickbait. That's why I said that. Sorry. Go ahead.
So we'll say Vrabel, but no, we'll take him off the list because most likely he's going to the Patriots. So whatever. I'll say that there's two. I'm going to say there's two guys, okay? And I said it yesterday. One, if the Raiders are trying to keep some of the players a continuity and maybe some of the players happy, and those folks will be like, yeah, you kept the players happy and see what happened this year. Anyways, but let's just say, okay, well, Patrick Graham, because when word of Patrick Graham, he's in an interview for the Jaguars head coaching job and then the Bengals defensive coordinator job. Then when that story came out then AP was fired. Not saying it's tied together, but just, you know, we like to put, you know, things together on the wall and whatever strings together. But what if the conspiracy theories, what if Patrick Graham is considered to take over and be the next head coach for the Raiders, being that he knows the organization, he's been working here for the last 3 years, that defense, even with all the young starters going in and taking over for a lot of the injured veterans and the injured stars that we had, that they were able to, at the end of the season, finish with a 15th ranked defense. Let's keep Patrick Graham, so at least that defense can at least have the continuity. And all we got to worry about, once again, for the third year in a row, is that offense, and just have an offensive coordinator come in and work under Patrick Graham, maybe. Or I'm gonna say it. Chucky 3. I'm gonna say it. I can believe Mark. I mean, if it's up to Mark Davis, Chucky 3. If it's up to Brady, it won't happen. But if Mark Davis can convince him, Brady or whatever, if Gruden, because Gruden's like, hey, I love the punishment. I'll go for a third round again. Let's go. Just give it back into the NFL. I'll fall for it. And they say, oh, Gruden can be, hey, you know what? Gruden, everyone's saying no. I'm not saying let's go Gruden. I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I'll just be like, wow, we're really going for a third installment of this Chucky 3, coming to a Raider game near you. Chucky 3. The first 2 times he was slashed, getting traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and had his revenge against the Raiders in Super Bowl 37. Now he comes back for the second time and he gets slashed in Roger Goodell. Now for the third installment, John Gruden comes back as Chucky Part 3 in an Allegiant Stadium near you. By the way, the tickets are now, we're upping the ticket prices because we have to for you season ticket holders. Chucky 3 coming to theaters and your local this season. But I'm just saying is I wouldn't be surprised, but with Brady in, you know, because on this show we try to hey, and you know what? Do you disagree? I know you know, but do you disagree? Do you disagree on what Goodell is? Because where is my Goodell? Where is my Goodell graphic right here? Oh, right here. Because, I mean, this is what he does with the NFL. And he got Tom Brady right there. So, I mean, and no, I wasn't putting the thing.
All right, well, that graphic comes up and the hat comes on.
I know, because he got to make sure that he don't hear what we got to say. Because, you know, that's what Goodell does. He likes to listen to our show.
Sorry, I didn't see your hat. You got to watch a few of our segments that we actually have with those hats. There's a reason why we have those hats.
Yes. So, Goodell, you know, all this weird where they're saying that NFL was scripted, and I said this on Jeff's show earlier today when they were talking about, I don't want to see the Chiefs going into the Super Bowl. I'm done with I want to see the Chiefs. I want them one and done. And I put in the comments, the script calls for Andy Reid to get his third ring in a row. And then retire with 3 rings.
I was going to say, that means he retires then, right? So then they go downhill from there?
That means he retires because, you know, it helps with the history of the NFL. And then he can retire, and then, you know, now we can kind of figure out who's going to be the next darling of the league since Tom Brady's retired. And then Mahomes got his 3 rings in a row and da-da-da-da, whatever. And then we'll see who's next. But that's part of the script from Roger Goodell, allegedly. So...
You only have to say allegedly when it deals with Hillary Clinton.
But you know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's only 24 hours after. Well, it's more than 24 hours after Pierce has been let go. So now you're gonna hear from all the other shows. What are we gonna do? All my insiders are telling me that the Raiders are going to hire a coach before the season starts.
Hey, that's a safe bet there.
That's all I can tell you. My insiders tell me that the Raiders are going to hire somebody before this season starts. That's all I can tell you because no one knows. No one knows. I don't even think Mark Davis even knows what's going to happen. But aside from going,
Tom Brady didn't tell him yet.
Tom Brady hasn't figured out which one of his Patriot friends. Maybe it could be Julian Edelman. Maybe he could be head coach, you know? Or maybe, you know, Gronk comes out of retirement.
Gronk.
Gronk
It's not going to be one person. It won't be Aaron Hernandez.
It won't I had jokes, but I'm not going to go down that route, you know.
Yes, I went there.
Oh, no, all right, Saddam. So just thinking of all this. That
come on, okay. Brady roast and everything.
There we go. I'll give you the crowd right there. All right, now going through everything, Saddam. I know, you know. Let's just talk about. and I showed it earlier with Miss Peggy about the quarterbacks. But let's look at another problem that we do have with this Raiders offense, at least, is our running back situation. Now, with Getsy, and we broke it down a little bit, and after I want to say, was it the Rams game? When we had the ball on the 1 yard line and we couldn't get 1 yard to get a touchdown. But you see here the running backs, Zamir White, who we thought was going to be a good replacement for Josh Jacobs, who went into free agency and signed with the Green Bay Packers. We thought he was going to be a great replacement by the way he ran at the end of last season. But going into this season and the way his season finished, he ended up on the IR with that quad injury. But 65 attempts, 183 yards with a 2.8 yards carry, 1 touchdown, and receiving six receptions for 30 yards. No receiving touchdowns. You look at Alexander Madison, who performed a little better. 132 attempts with 420 yards of rushing, with 3.2, 4 touchdowns. In the backfield, he got 36 receptions for 294 yards, 1 touchdown. Amir has been a more consistent-ish. He's played, he missed 1 game, which was the last game of the season. But with the 66 attempts, 331 yards, he got his first 100-yard game of his career, and that was against the. Was it the Saints or the Jaguars? The 2 games that we won at the end of the season.
I want to say it was the Saints.
I think it was it was the Jaguars. It was the Jaguars because he was gonna. Yeah. No. It was the Saints. I don't know. It was the second to last game.
God damn it.
But he had his first 100-yard game in his career, and I know he's an older back, but these are the guys we had. And then, of course, Sincere McCormick, who showed promise, being on the practice squad I won't say a long time, but it seemed like it for most of the year, and he gets his chance because of the injuries, and he's looking like that unproven back that we can kind of build our future around when it comes to the running game. And then he ends up hurting his ankle and was out for the rest of the season. John Gruden, head coach Bill Count. I'll go back to that. Gunther, trade for a car, Cy Mack, and Cooper. DC, Gunther. That was a horrible move, too. That was basically Chuck Bresnahan in the second time coming around with the Raiders, and Hugh Jackson's for 1 year coaching couldn't stop nobody, but Gruden wouldn't let him go until he finally had to. Then he ended up getting Gus Bradley, who recently just got released from his team.
Yeah. Oh, he got Brad.
Yeah, he got let go. Gus Bradley got let go.
Yeah.
So right here, Asylum, I'll let you take this question. Where do you rank our running back room? And we're here talking about the running backs. I mean, according to the NFL, we're ranked 32, but
I mean, this goes. I'll answer it this way. Taking the offensive line out of it, because that's where a lot of this is coming from, just by the stats that you see on the screen here, you have to give them an F.
Yeah. I was going to say, and compared to Zamir White, how he finished the season last year, I mean, it's probably all tied together, the offensive coordinator and then the offensive lines. But sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I do put part of that on, the offensive line. With the offensive line not being what it is, with it being what it was, you have to give it there. But off of the stats, what we're seeing here, everything going, our running game, what was a straight, just off the running backs going, taking offensive line, it's an F. Now you want to add the offensive line to that, I'd probably give it a D+. Because McCormick, before he got hurt, was starting to get something going.
Yeah.
You know, it was going good. As you put, Abdullah had the 100-yard game. So there was some slight success. But again, I'm putting a lot of that on the offensive line because I think if we had a competent offensive line, then it might be a different story. But with what we're seeing, I'm going to go with just that, just running back room. No other excuses, everything else like that. I'm going to give it, I have to give it an F. I mean, if you give it, I see people giving C's, this, that, going, and I agree with the O-line, this, that, I can see where people are I could kind of agree with some of what some people say, like I see a C, I see this, but I'm definitely giving it an F. And I can't believe I'm saying this with fucking Raider Homer. We actually agree on something.
Was that what you just put up?
Yeah.
They all get an F?
They all get an F. I mean, I can't believe we actually finally agreed on something. It took fucking goddamn 5 years, but we actually agree on something.
Yeah, and the running game wasn't there to help out with the passing game, and you have quarterbacks that are basically trying to do their best to carry the offense on their back because we had no running game, and we had no running game to complement, for this offense. So the defense on the opposing team, hey, let's just pass blitz or what we got to do because they ain't gonna run it, and then we'll play maybe like a cover 2 back there or what. But we're gonna just rush. We're gonna pass rush because they're not gonna run. They're not gonna run. Even if they do try to run, that offensive line ain't gonna be able to block them. As a whole, and Miller started off slow on the left side, left tackle. Miller started off slow with the injury that he had throughout the offseason.
Question here. I mean, this is your question here. You put me on the running backs. I want to put you on this question here. Since you were a former offensive lineman, you would know this better. You could answer this better than I could.
Who are our weak link or links on our offensive line? Main one was
I know this one. Andre James.
Andre James getting that 3-year contract going into this season. We were all like, this is before we drafted JPJ. We were like, wait, why? Why did you give him a contract? Because we all, on the show we said last year, move Parham to the center. Because Andre James keeps getting pushed back into the quarterback, and the offense can't do nothing because he's the middle guy getting pushed back when you had an organization that were the center position for the most part of the 60 plus year or 60 year. This is the 60th year in the history. Jim Otto, Mosbar. I'm forgetting the other one. I shouldn't forget him. This is Otto, Mosbar. Mosbar had the one eye. And then you had, I'm forgetting his name, and then it was Barrett Robbins. Why am I forgetting the other guy's name?
Oh, I know who you're fucking talking about, too.
I'm forgetting his name.
I know who you're talking about now that the pressure's on because it's a live show. I can't fucking think of who it is.
Yeah.
No,
not Gene Upshaw. Gene Upshaw was left guard. I forget who the center. Dave Dalby. Dave Dalby, thank you, Ernest. That's who it was, Dave Dalby. Dave Dalby actually has the 3 rings. Dave Dalby actually has the 3 rings that the Raiders won because Jim Otto had retired, I believe, a year before they won the Super Bowl. And then Mosbar took over after Dalby. Mosbar had the injury to his eye. I want to say come out of college. He was
a Raider, a Pirate.
Yes, he was a Raider. He was the shield. He had the eye patch over his eye, and then we had Barrett Robbins, and then we had a couple guys, whatever, and then we came back with Hudson. So Hudson kind of brought that back, but since we traded Hudson to the Cardinals and replaced him with Andre James, this offensive line, starting with the center position, just hasn't been able to block anybody, and that was a John Gruden move. But I'm going to say him, and then, I really did like Parham. And
center, though. When he was playing center, Parham was, serviceable.
Yeah.
He was serviceable. Then we got JPJ, and he kind of became obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And then
I mean, in all reality.
Yeah, see, I was trying to remember. I don't know why I forgot Dave Dolby, because he's the one that got the 3 Super Bowl rings, 11, 15, and 18, and then Mosbar took over during the LA years, and then we had Barrett Robbins, and then of course we know the Super Bowl story. So and then we had like different guys like the Hawaiian. I've got the Hawaiian dude's name. Or the Samoan dude's name, and then you had like just they kept trying to throw guys in there. What's his name? Wisniewski's son was a center, wasn't he a center?
Steve. Yes. No.
No. Stephen.
And then you had Steve. Steve was the old guy. Stephen,
Steve was the guard, number 76. What he is, I don't know if he made it to the next round, but he was nominated for the Hall of Fame for the 25 finalists. I don't know if he made it to the next round, which he does deserve to be there in the Hall of Fame. But it's his nephew. That wasn't his son. His nephew. I think it was Stephen Wisniewski.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was too small though to play center, kind of like Andre James. But Andre James was the weakest link, and then Parham at the guard position. He just keeps getting blown up, or I don't know what it is. And we were trying to break it down a couple times during the season when it came to Luke Getsy's a blocking scheme or whatever was going on. And you see some guys are man blocking, and the other guys are zone blocking. But it's like on a run play, and then the running back from a shotgun position is getting buried 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage when we're trying to get 1 yard for a touchdown. So it's hard to pinpoint what was the main reason why this offense didn't go well. Was it the offensive line? Was it the running back committee? Was it the offensive coordinator? Was it the quarterback? We couldn't tell because it was just all over the place.
I add one more person to this. At least at the beginning of the season, and that's Colton Miller. Colton Miller was not good. Towards the end of it, it seems like, but that shoulder injury seemed to bother him throughout his through this season.
Yeah. Wait, JPJ looks like he's guarding the whole. I mean, JP. You know what I like about JPJ? He is a definition of playing to the whistle or the whistle's echo, because he'll go first level. He'll go first level, block the defensive lineman or whoever. Then he'll go and run. He's running faster than the running back to get to the next guy. And then when the running back is already tackled, you already see him in full flight, parallel to the ground to go after somebody else. And they got to be like, bro, man, you're playing too rough. Not with that shield on, though. So I like JPJ, but I want him at center. At center. DJ Glaze, you started hearing less of his name towards the end of the season, which means he was doing good. Because if you start hearing a lot of your offensive linemen, that means if you start hearing your offensive lineman's name being called in the game, that means he ain't doing too well. If you don't hear about the offensive lineman,
he's doing.
They had there was no flags, no holding, no false starts or nothing. And him being a rookie, being drafted in the third round, fourth round.
Glaze
DJ Glaze. Third round, yeah. Because I know JPJ was 2, second round. Yeah. So him being drafted, he was
were hits.
Yeah. I would say DJ Glaze probably would have been the reach of the draft, but he proved himself. And when Thayer Mumford got hurt in the beginning of the season against the Ravens, and DJ Glaze had to go in there in that right tackle position, he never let it go. And so we do have a cornerstone at that right side that we haven't had since Lincoln Kennedy. Talking about the last time we did anything in the early 2000s, so since Lincoln Kennedy. And then we have a center now, which I hope that's what they do going into this next season, is making sure that JPJ is not penciled in, but sharpied in to the center position.
No. Set in stone.
Chiseled into the Flintstone.
I want that motherfucker carved in stone that JPJ is the center.
Yeah, and just like did you put this one up, or just like what Ernest said right here?
I didn't.
Keep
You know,
keep building,
and
keep
I've
building.
said this on Jeff's show, it going. I've said it in a lot of places. You know, everyone wants to go quarterback. They want to go all these other positions. You want to win games, and it's on both sides of the ball. You have to start with the trenches. You win games and championships in the trenches. It's that offensive and defensive line that are going to make everybody else better.
Didn't Mumford line up as a receiver in one formation? Like,
I want to say yes once, right?
It once, and they were like, "What is he doing out there?" Yeah, let's get a guy over there. Yeah, okay, yeah. This is our trick play.
Yeah, you know, that was our refrigerator Perry.
Yeah, playing wide receiver. I don't think it was a goal line either. I don't think it was a goal line. Like,
I don't think it was.
You know, like they try to have Warren Sapp when Warren Sapp would catch passes when he still played for the Buccaneers. He was like a tight end. They put him in there, eligible receiver. But yeah, and then let's say Asylum. And I know we didn't really talk too much with Miss Peggy, but we'll get into going into the rookie or the rookie class quarterbacks as we progress during this off season, and with everything that's going on. But let's just say we want to go veteran quarterback outside of Sam Darnold, because it will be stupid if the Vikings don't re-sign Sam Darnold. And I know people are saying, well, let's trade for JJ McCarthy, but let's just say veteran quarterback, because JJ McCarthy would still be considered in his rookie year, even though he'll go into year 2, but he was injured, kind of like redshirted. So Oompa Loompa's that right receiver. DJ Turner and Trey Tucker. But looking at this, and like I said, going into this coming season, we didn't want Russell Wilson. Half of the nation said, I'll take a Justin Fields, and others said, no, he didn't do too well in Chicago, and then we have his coordinator, so it's not going to look good because it didn't look good in Chicago. Jameis Winston, he's inconsistent. I know he did well when he took over for the Cleveland when Watson got hurt.
Yeah,
but he still had some inconsistencies. Jacoby Brissett, journeyman backup quarterback. I think is his third stint with the Patriots. Yeah, Andy Dalton is up there in age, and even though he killed us in that Carolina game, he ended up losing his. Well, I think he got into a car accident, hurt his thumb, and then their guy Bryce Young took over and never let go. And Joe Flacco, he should be retiring.
He should be, yeah. He's getting to the end, yeah.
Mac Jones
played 2 extra years.
Yeah. Mac Jones, no. Daniel Jones, no. And I saw him. Do you want to take that comment that came up? Do you want to?
Okay, well, you were trying to go somewhere, and I was going to ask: is it only off of this list? Because there's certain other names that have been put out there that could be losing their job, such as a Kirk Cousins, shit like that. So I'm not sure going. But to answer this question here, is AOC better than half these free agents? I'm going to say my opinion, and I'm going to say I might be able to speak for you on this, on the cage match. We feel O'Connell is better than all these free agents, and he's the one that you need to start next season.
Yeah, and we have graphics for his quarterback class that came out in 2023. Now, of course, look at that right there.
Nice segue.
Now, of course, you got C.J. Stroud. He's doing his thing, second year in the playoffs, and his second year in the NFL. So he's basically the standard of this draft class. Bryce Young was the overall number 1 pick going into the Panthers. But looking at this, and O'Connell, 20 games, 17 starts. So you see, and then Anthony Richardson, because he's been having injuries in and out of the lineup the last 2 years.
Hey, don't forget he quit on plays. He got benched because he took himself out of the game because he was tired.
Yeah. So, but I mean, looking at this list, CJ Stroud, take him out of the 4 that's left. I say Aiden. Well, I mean, Bryce Young's starting to come alive now, but I'll say Aiden.
And take the record away. Take the records away out of that. Going. So you're going to take CJ Stroud out. We're going to take the records out of it because of situational things, and that's how records could go depending on things going. So take the records out and CJ Stroud out. Now continue your statement. Sorry.
Yeah. So, like I said, Bryce Young started to come alive the last couple of games when he got his job back. Maybe he needed that mental break when they went and started the Red Rocket over him. But I mean, I feel like if Aiden O'Connell can get a shot, and if they do draft the quarterback, most likely Aiden O'Connell will be the starter.
Don't you have another stat here? I want to go this. He said no mobility, but better accuracy. But yet, wasn't there something we talked about earlier today?
Well, yeah. If you look at all the quarterbacks in this that we've had, O'Connell had more attempts at rushing, and then towards the end of the season, he was running like 10 yards, 12 yards. He just needs to learn how to slide. But O'Connell has been. He's like, no, I'm going to try to win this job as best as I can. I don't care about your draft pick. I don't care about whoever the next quarterback is. And everyone's going to point to that last interception that he threw towards Madison that got picked off and kind of killed the momentum for the rest of the game.
He can't rush. I get the 30 yards. He had a lot of fucking big gains taken back by the offensive line.
Yeah, holding. Yeah, the offensive line. But see, the thing about O'Connell is he knows he's going to get hit. And he stays in that pocket until his guy's ready to get open, and he's been throwing the ball. He's been able to anticipate the break of the receiver, to get him the ball open. And O'Connell, his deep ball has been getting more accurate. He's been able to drop it, like dropping dimes to the receivers downfield. But the inconsistency is still there, whether that is him or just the way the offense is going. I believe the second half of the last game against the Chargers, I know there was that last touchdown drive where there was no rushing attempts, and I think it's probably because they were towards the end of the game, but they couldn't rely on the running game. And that's been how it's been this whole season, when you can't rely on the running game to at least sustain the offense and keep the defense off the field. So the quarterbacks had to go out there and throw a 30, 40, or not 40, but, high 20s, mid 30s passes in the game. So it's still up in the air. I know O'Connell made his 17th start, which would make a full season against the Chargers this last game. But I want to see him start game 1. This is my team, or say this is his team. Let's see what you can do, and go from there. But they have to work on that offensive line, and they have to be able to have a running game to balance out that offense. Because if a defense knows all you can do is pass, well, then we're going to pin our ears back, and we're going to go after you. Yeah. So.
No, I agree with that. And going and. While we were going, I think as of right now, until other possible quarterbacks come out of that list, and we're going to go only off the list that you gave of the free agents quarterbacks right now, I feel personally, Savage can say whatever he wants. I already know what Homer and other people are going to say, but I think O'Connell is the better quarterback out of that whole list.
Yeah. And I feel the same way. And, Raider Homer, you saw him in there. He said AOC sucks, but we've had discussions and we had the debate.
We're gonna bring Homer into this shit. I remember his pick, and how did his pick turn out? Homer, tell me how Minshew turned out. How did Minshew turn out for you? Did it work? I take O'Connell over Minshew, and that was my argument, and I still have that same argument.
Well, we got to get Raider Homer on the show again, because it makes for great. It makes for great.
We got to get that damn video up about what I put and you commented on, because that video is you and me every time we're on together. Fucking Bear and another guy to get fucking straight boxing.
It's like Shannon Sharp and what's his name? Skip Bayless, just without Joy Taylor. Oh, Fox Sports sex scandal. All right, Asylum. Let's start landing the show now.
Everyone who thinks it.
That's why Uncle Rico. That's why Uncle Rico will be throwing more footballs outside of his van in an open field.
And I'm sorry, the fact that he has a van that he likes to live in and shit just even makes that statement even that much better. With the video camera, I could throw it over a mountain.
This is my NFL tape. Come on, guys. All right, well, let's start landing the show so we can get ready for Jeff and Peggy on that show.
All right, Homer, I'm going to get you on just so I can fucking argue with you. I'm ready. We'll wait till Jeff's show's over and I might come on later just to argue with Homer.
All right, then next week, though, come back next Wednesday. We don't have any Friday shows anymore because the season is over. But next Wednesday, we do have a surprise. We want to talk about insiders, but we're going to have someone that can map out from the inside experience within the Raider facility, within the Raider confines of Al Davis's offices. And he'll tell us how it was navigated during Al Davis's tenure, going through a coaching change in an offseason with no head coach. Do we say the name or should we wait till later?
If you want to say it, I'll go this far. We're not going to speculate what happens at this time of year. We're going to give you facts of what a front office goes through at this time of year.
Yes. So make sure.
It ain't guessing. It's going to be 100% facts.
Yes.
And if you want to say who it is, that's up to you on this.
I'll let you do it because you're the one that set it up. We'll just say this would be his third time going on to the show. So it's
his fourth.
It's his Al Davis, his birthday. Then it was the free. Oh, yeah.
No, remember the first time with the whole book and everything.
Yes. Okay, this would be his fourth then. Oh, wow. This would be his fourth.
So now that we said it, all right, we might as well just give the name. So next week, we're going to have John Kingdon, who's the author of Behind the Shield, the Al Davis story, on the show, explaining what it's like to go through this exact situation as the Raiders front office man. Explaining what happens, what we can expect, how things are going to go. And like I said, no doubt, no, speculation. It's not like I think this is going to happen. He will explain and break down exactly what it's like to go through this and what we can expect as Raiders fans, the front office, of the Raiders this year is going to be going through.
Yes, a history lesson for all of us, including ourselves.
And he throws fucking nuggets out there. He's going to tell you shit. I guarantee, come watch, because the stories he tells about, situation, players, and everything else is shit that you will never hear from anybody else. You've never heard. I want to say never heard, but you've never heard. He has nuggets and things going that is just, I'm always in awe when we talk to this man.
Yes. So he'll come on next Wednesday, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're at 5 or about 3 o'clock Hawaiian for Rick over there. So we want to thank Peggy for coming on, especially being under the weather, but she still, like I said, came out and did her best Michael Jordan impersonation, and flu game basically. She did her with the flu. She came out firing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for Miss Peggy for coming on the show and toughing it out. And then we want to thank everybody in the chat. So we appreciate you. This is another successful show. Tell your friends about us, the Cage Match Show. Subscribe, do all that great stuff. Link in survive. Subscribe, all that whatever. And after this,
subscribe to the channel.
Yes, and after this, go to and I thought I had it in here. I think I took it down, or I thought I had the graphic. I think I might have took it down from all the graphics I was putting up. But go to, it's right here. Go to, that's his booster, but yeah, his YouTube channel, as they'll have Miss Peggy to continue on the conversation that we had on his channel. So shouts out to Rick over there. And
_, Raider Boosters on YouTube.
Yes. Say that one more time.
NE_ Raiders Boosters.
Homer, what are you talking about? If we're not friends, we're frenemies, okay? So
hey, hold on, you know what? No, just because of that, I'm gonna give Homer a big fuck you.
Friends are not the ones that we help out. Friends are the ones that we deal with. Okay, I'm just joking. All right, shout out to Speedy. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good night, and we're gonna all navigate through this whole coaching search, as we all would try to do, and figure out what Mark Davis has next on the next episode of Survivor Raider Coach Edition. Oh yeah, take care. And we're gonna end every show like we always do with the word from Raider Milt, a.k.a. my high school coach, Coach Wallace. Rest in peace. Diehard Raider fan. And, yeah. All right. Take care. We'll see you. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. We'll see you. Any more friends than the ones that on this show? Well, hey, thank you. Thank you for shouting us out. All right, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Go to Jeff's channel and check out Miss Peggy to continue on with how she feels of what's going on. All right, take care. Have a good night. Peace out. Oh, yeah.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.